Hey, what's up? This is I Am Conscious here. I want to talk today a little bit about how to like help the world and really make an impact in the world. Because I got a lot of friends as far as like my followers on IG and the people I follow back on IG, and even close friends on Facebook and some of my family members who are getting into this vibe of like wanting to change the world or at least making an impact, making it a better place. And I like surrounding myself with people like that. But I've been in this vibe for such a long time now. I started off as a rebel, and we always do. That's why I don't judge people when they're rebels, because when you're rebellious and you want to be an anarchist and you want to like change something and you want to stand up for something. You don't know how, but you find a way and you get together with a group. Maybe you go tag some walls. Maybe you go, I don't know, go to that protest. And I think that yes, those things are like a process you got to go through. Like I went through that. I went protesting. I didn't go crazy where like I was doing crazy things in the street, nothing like that. I could have, but something always pulled me back. I always stayed away from trouble, and so I want to like tell you guys how I've came to learn and understand how to change the world and make it a better place. And it starts obviously with yourself. You hear it all the time. Like a lot of these things I say in these videos are cliches, man. They're cliches, but there's a reason. There's a reason for them. Like the difference between like, you gotta distinguish between people who say like a cliche because they hear it all the time. It's just like verbal shit they just spit out. Oh, like yeah, what goes around comes around, like some bullshit. Like no, like you gotta like say it and mean it. And actually, if you're gonna say something like an advice or like some kind of like like good words you want to give to somebody, like you better practice what you preach, man. You better walk the walk because if you don't, you're part of the problem. In my opinion, you're part of the problem as far as like you're just another talker. Like there's watchers and doers. Like are you gonna watch all this shit happen or are you gonna do something about it? And you gotta do something about it. I think what you gotta do is you gotta start with yourself. Like everything has to be good at home before it can be good out there. Now the opposite is true. If you see everybody good out there, it's gonna influence your home. Like I picked this idea up from this book called Days of War, Nights of Love. I got it on this website called crimethink.com, and it's called Crime Think with a C instead of a K.com, all one word, of course. Cool store, man. Back when I was a self-proclaimed anarchist, I used to buy all these books there, and I still got. I let my good friend borrow that book. My good friend Armando. He let me borrow this other book. I got it like right here. I think it's in my other house or my cousin's house rather. It's called Behold a Pale White Horse. I forgot the guy who wrote it, but I read up on it, and that's a cool book too. You know what I'm saying? It's got a lot of interesting information you got to consider. But anyway, enough of the books. What I'm trying to get at here is that like if what you see out there isn't influencing you in a good way, if basically you're not looking at the right things, or just somehow you can't find the right things as far as like what can help you and benefit your life to make you a better person. If you can't find that out there, then you got to start it here. You got to be strong, and you got to make it happen yourself. Like you got to like if there's something like it's like it starts first of all revolution starts in the mind. Like right here, this is where it's at. You got to start questioning. A lot of my friends, they think I'm a little weird because I question and I see all these weird things. But what I'm doing is it's not that some people are crazy. It's just some people are open-minded, and I'm not saying they're better or worse than other people. I'm just saying it's just a fact of life that some people think more, and some of those people that think more and have learned a couple things out of life want to share this because they realize, hey, like I don't want this information to myself. I'm not gonna get greedy with this. I'm not gonna hog all this shit to myself. Nah, like some people do that and they become successful in a way, and they find a way because they understand how the system works and they use it to their benefit. And that's where I'll get out to that later as far as like Illuminati and all these like hip hop artists and like all these celebrities. With all that stuff, I'll kind of get to that later. But what I'm trying to say is revolutionary starts like revolution. I mean, to be a revolutionary, to be an innovator, to be an anarchist, to be all that stuff. Like you gotta get past the idea that we are against each other. First of all, that's like my first tip I can give you. There's no us versus them. There's no them versus us. We're all one. It's not us versus cops. It's not us versus our parents. It's not us versus our kids at the kids at school that might talk shit about us. It's not us against anybody, the government, whatever you want to call. Like we are the government. We are those police officers. We are those kids at school. We're all one. Like we're all. You play that role sometimes too when you badmouth somebody else. So it's like you got to get past that idea of separateness. We're all one. Things separate us because we're asleep while we're up there. But if you're awake and you start thinking and becoming conscious and find ways to react without anger and don't get distracted by compliments or insults. Compliments, take them, learn how to take them, not to where they put you, where you're like, oh yeah, yeah, thank you. No, like take a compliment, thank you, and then insults as well. Like don't take insults so personal. Nothing is personal. I don't take nothing in life personal from anybody because everything they do is a reflection of themselves. Everything you do is a reflection of yourself. You know, so you gotta like be a little selfish in life a little as far as worry about yourself because this is your responsibility. That's why like stop trying to change the world. Worry about you. Worry about what you gotta do to make the world a better place because it'll happen anyway. You know what I mean? So I think yeah, the first tip I can give you guys would be to stop having that us versus them mentality. Another thing for you fellow anti-consumerists and anti-government whatever is how do I say this? Sorry, man. This is, I got so many thoughts in my mind that like I want to say them all. Like I don't prepare these videos. Really, I think I should start. Like I said, I'm gonna start editing my videos, but I forget about that trick. I'll just move forward to like what I was gonna talk about the Illuminati and as far as people being in control and abusing their power. Some people they wake up and when they wake up, they begin to see how the system works. That's why I love that song called Handlebars by Flowbots. I mentioned it before in another video. It's a dope song, man. And this guy's talking about how he can be anything he wants. He can break apart a remote control, put it back together. He can make a he can make cars. He can make a living off a magazine. He can lead a nation by a microphone. Little things to big things, and it's all the same thing. The point is that it's mind over matter. You're manipulating the very atoms around you, like with your mind. People often frown, like when people talk about that mind over matter stuff. Like, what you mean mind over matter? That sounds kind of like I don't know, psychic bullshit. Like it sounds like some shit that's just not real, But it's real, man. Mind over matter. Like you make situations happen. It's in your power. And a lot of people that become aware of how the system works and how everything works, they begin to like take advantage of people because they're like, oh, like okay, see, like I see it all the time, and I thought about it too, and it's crazy, but I can't do that. Like I always want to remain. It's always good. It's important to be like a humble person because once people start like thinking for themselves, things don't go as well. Like karma plays a big role in life. Karma like really does affect everything you do. Like you really can do anything you want. That's Mark Marcel. I recommend that video by Mark Marcel. I just finished watching it this morning. I watch it like every so now and this is like a 20-minute video. Mark Marcel. I'll try to put it in my description. But Mark Marcel, sorry, I'm eating, but I need some sensu beans, man. I'm on like 4 hours of sleep. But yeah, Mark Marcel. I think the video is called "The Meaning of Life." Dialogue by someone, something, something. And he's talking about like all this stuff more with the DMT side of it though. DMT is dimethyltryptamine, which is a drug that is found in all living things. Like it's found in the plants. You can extract it. It's found in our very brain. Like I'm only regurgitating this because it's important for people to know. Like DMT is what makes you dream. It's what gives you that capability of dreaming. So it's like DMT is responsible for a lot of things. It's responsible for your imagination. It's like it's what makes you come up with these ideas. You know what I mean? I think that it's and there's this they extract it from plants somehow, many ways. They also have like I think in the Amazon, not the Amazon, in Peru, they have spots where they have a lot of shamans, and you can go and visit them. and you can like they do a little ceremony where they take this it's called ayahuasca. They have an ayahuasca ceremony. They all get together, and they what they do is they take this plant and they take this other plant. See, like this plant, if you were to eat it just by itself or drink it like that by itself, because they make it into like some kind of fruit. If you were to drink it by itself, nothing would happen, right? Because it's just a plant, right? But then there's chemicals in that plant that are just waiting to be clicked, waiting to be. It's got like an on switch to it. And what you need is I don't know. I'm not too familiar with all the terms exactly yet because I'm still barely learning this myself. But they have this other plant. I forgot what it's called. It has something to do with like an inhibitor, right? So when you take and you mix both of these plants together, this one turns on this plant. It turns on the switch button of DMT, so that when it's in your system, is when it turns on. Like if you just take the plant by itself, nothing's gonna happen. Boom, you put this plant together, you mix it in the brew, it's like a chemical reaction, and boom, you go into the psychedelic trip. Now I haven't done that myself. I want to go to Peru. It's something I've been thinking about for the longest time. This girl on YouTube, I forgot her name, but she's been talking about it. This white girl, she has a cool story. Like this white chick wanted to be an actress. I think she lives in LA. Wanted to be an actress. She had all these plans, and then somehow she like this ayahuasca thing came right in her path. Ever since she took that ayahuasca trip, she totally forgot about plans. She moved to Peru. She's staying over there. She's getting like a lot of people watching her YouTube videos, and they're going over there. It's already been happening. Like what I'm saying is, I guess I kind of like jumped, but like I said, this thing isn't structured. I apologize. I'm pretty random, but it's all comes to one purpose, and the purpose is to make the world a better place. I do think personally, from what I've learned. Now, it doesn't have to be true to you. Maybe, like I said before, that whole maybe everything I'm saying, if you do the opposite, maybe that's what works for you. That's cool. Do the opposite, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Whatever works for you, just stay humble, do good things because, like I said, karma's real. It's a real force. But yeah, man, that ayahuasca stuff is cool. Like, I know a lot of my family probably watching this right now. Like, damn, like this like Roberto like doing drugs and like, nah, like you got the whole thing messed up. And obviously, if you're a minor, you shouldn't be doing any drugs at all. It's something you make a decision when you're an adult and you understand it more because right now, you're too young to understand that stuff anyway. And so yeah, like I took mushrooms back in February. Back in February, man, it was like one of the best days of my life. I guess I'll make another YouTube video for that because I got a cool story for that one. But yeah, man, back on point. Let me get back to the Illuminati thing. Like I said this before, I don't like Illuminati, man. Like this, they're not real, man. What it is some people figure out the system. They figure out that a lot of people are asleep. What I mean by sleep is they're easily manipulated, because they've been conditioned by the school system and everything that comes with that, like all the friends and social circles. And you've been programmed to think a certain way, listen to certain music, and watch certain shows. And that's all good and well because sometimes there are good shows and there are good movies, and some of these movies are actually inspiring. Some of these shows are inspiring, like they're doing good things. It's all about what you tune into. There's different things. There's like in every category, there's good and bad things about it. Whether it's music, like genres, whether it's sports, whether it's anything you can put out there. You just gotta find what works for you. So like what the Illuminati really is, it's just people that kind of figured this thing out. They make it up to the top. They probably, and you heard it before, like Tupac, Michael Jackson, like people that John Lennon know this stuff, and they get successful out of it as far as a lot of money because they figured, and maybe not all of them, maybe some do it straight for the love, but they realize that they have this power in their hands, and it's very crazy, like, because I mean, look at the way we idolize celebrities. It's insane. It's like, yeah, like, they're just people, just like us. And we forget that, they're people just like us. They take a shit, they eat, they probably talk bad about other people. They probably laugh at you. They, not just kidding. I'm getting a little too negative with that. What I'm trying to say is that they're just people, and like whenever you hear, see, I'm kind of doing it there too, where we want to talk bad about celebrities. Like, there's a lot of haters. They talk about Justin Bieber. They talk about You see all these Mexican programmers who like make these shows of, you know, like a lot of revistas, like magazines, where they're talking about so and so's life, like taking pictures behind their backs, like creeping up on their garden, being stalkers, and like who cares about Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's kid, or like you realize this, and oh, why do we idolize him so much? Because we kind of hate on him, you know. We like, I want what they have, you know, or like we talk bad about him, like, yeah, they don't deserve that stuff. Nah, there's something going on. Why can't we have that? You know what it is? I think there's some secret society. Yeah, let's call them the Illuminati. Yeah, they keep putting those all that weird stuff in the music videos. Like, you know what I think that is? That's another thing. I think that those music videos that they make, where they're always doing this with their eyes, or like weird shit with their eyes, and all this Illuminati symbolism, is that they're just going along with it. They're like, oh shit, this is what the people are talking about. That we're in this what Illuminati? Well, let's fuck with them even more now. It's funny. Let's watch. Let's see. Let's see. Let's get it mapped up. See what the hell happens. I think that's what I think is what it is. But I don't really think there's an actual group out. Now there are like groups as far as like I could like I don't know like the Ku Klux Klan. You know, like I'm sure there's people out there who like the idea of the KKK. So a lot of racist people and discriminating people got together and like, hey, let's start a group and let's just take out whoever we don't like. You know, maybe there's a group out there like Missouri somewhere, or like Texas, or like Nevada, maybe here. You know, maybe Oregon. Who knows, man? There's different groups for different things, and yeah, that's why you gotta be careful in life. As far as like it is a cold world, like I'm saying you can't be too paranoid either. You know, if your time's up, your time's up. You know, like just be positive and you know have a good believe in people, but also be smart and know who and when. That's just a whole different trip. What I'm trying to say is I don't hate on these celebrities, man. I don't hate on the president. I think they're doing the best they can. You know what I mean? And I think that maybe yes, there are things that they need help on, and that's I think where we come in because, like I said, we are also the government. We are those celebrities. We're potentially there. Like we can be those people. So if you really want to make a change in the world, it starts with yourself. You know, always remember your roots. Remember where you came from. This video is over. I always talk too much. I'm gonna edit my videos, make them quick and fast. 17 minutes. Who the hell wants to listen to a 17-minute video? I'm gonna edit my videos. Um, but you know the information is there. I hope you guys can take it and really appreciate it because I say this like wholeheartedly. So yep, this is I am conscious, and thanks for listening. I'll edit my videos. I'll work on that. I am conscious. Got that mushroom story, serotonin. This is why I do all this crazy art stuff. This hat's not done, by the way. I want to put like red. I lost my red marker. So yeah. Anyway, hit me up if you have any interesting plans you agree with as far as what I'm talking about here. And yeah, you know how to contact me. Thank you for listening. Peace.